Yes, guys, Adam here. I'm with Steve and Abdullah. They're about to head onto their United review show. Check that out, links in the description. But now let's talk about the game. 0-0 against Palace, more points dropped. That's the 6th home game this season where we've dropped points or not won. You worried by that, considering we've played 9?
It doesn't matter whether it's home games, whether it's away games. The accumulation of not picking points up is hurting us big time at the moment. We listened to Jose yesterday in a press conference talk about how we had winnable games, and we absolutely did. Yeah, that run that we've got, you go, all right, we've got to go Anfield, probably not going to do much there. Arsenal at home, I'd fancy us, and all the rest of them games, Fulham here and all that. You go, yeah, Jose's right. We can pick up loads of points in this period now between now and 2nd of January when we play Newcastle. Let's have a good go at it. Let's get back in the mix and let's get back in there. Not where we belong, not where we deserve, but where we could actually get into. And then you drop points at home to Crystal Palace, who are, let's be honest with ourselves, mate, proper but could have beat us today. They had their chances. They arguably had better chances than us. I knew what they were going to do. I've watched them and gone, they're going to sit there, they're going to play 4-4-2, they're going to look to hit us on the counter. And that's what they do. So why do I know what they're doing? And is how many people at the club there that didn't expect that was what they was going to do? Why are we bringing Marouane Fellaini on all the time as our plan B? Why does Manchester United not have a better option when we need to? For starters, why are we chasing the game against Palace? But if we are chasing the game against Palace, why is it bringing Marouane Fellaini on? What's the point? What is the point in having him? Why is Ashley Young not only wearing the captain's armband, which is an absolute disgrace for starters? Let me ask you this, yeah? You guys as well, right? If Ashley Young left United, where's he going? It's not Real Madrid, is it? It's not Barcelona, it's not Bayern Munich.
He wouldn't get into Watford.
It'd be Watford or Palace as a reserve. Why is he starting week in, week out for us? He banged 11 crosses in today. So that's 11 times that guy got into the opportunity to create a chance and 11 times failed to hit someone in a United shirt. That's disgraceful, and he's like this all the time. People say this is the guy's the best crosser at the club because he pulls out random assists, broken clocks right twice a day, and that's what Ashley Young is all the time. He's making mistakes defensively and he offers all going forward.
Today though, we had 23 players available. Apart from Luke Shaw, everybody was available. A few niggles in there. But is there any excuse then to have a team where you're looking at players thinking, Matic not good enough, Young not good enough? Why aren't we trying different things when these tried and tested things that we know haven't worked all season, we keep going with? Like, look, it doesn't make sense.
I empathise with Jose not getting the players he wanted, and I empathise with him that he didn't get the transfers that he wanted. The money doesn't matter, mate. But no, it doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
Why? His transfer record's atrocious.
It doesn't matter, mate. Right, either way, because he's not had what he wanted.
Just forget that. I don't know what he's saying.
So it doesn't matter about the players that he did or didn't sign. He isn't playing with the fucking players that he's got. We are good enough to beat Crystal Palace, top and bottom of it, black and white. We are good enough to beat Crystal Palace, so not beating Crystal Palace, not beating Brighton, not beating all these fucking teams that we've not been able to beat is just an absolute disgrace.
Abdullah, what do you make of that?
Oh, mate, that was an absolute disgrace. In the second half, we had a bit of a spark where we started to pick up a bit of pace, and then what does he do? He hooks off Mata and Jesse Lingard, our most creative player on the pitch. The only bit of energy we had, Jesse Lingard won the most tackles on the pitch. What's Matic doing? What's Matic doing defensively then? Because he was dropping in for him. Did you see those tackles that he put in just before he come off? So what's Matic doing? So he wins the most tackles, he was creating the most chances, and then you hook him off. What's the point? And then Pogba's coming off, because his excuse for Pogba will be, Pogba's got a bit of a knock, so obviously I want to rest him. But you stuck Matic in there after he just had surgery, a week after he had surgery, and he's playing like, he doesn't even look like a professional footballer on that pitch, Matic. It's a joke, man. He keeps giving us these excuses. I've had enough, man. I keep trying to like bring things up for him, but today he sticks Fellaini and Matic as a pivot. When we're chasing down the game, the midfield just disappeared when Jesse Lingard and Mata came off. What are you trying? There's no system behind us. There's no tactics. You've been here nearly 3 seasons. It's embarrassing, man.
Where do we go next then? Because I constantly hear this team isn't good enough as an excuse and there's nobody else there, so no one available. Is that a reason to hold on to someone?
The team is good enough to beat Crystal Palace if you want to just look at it just in the cold black and white of what's going on today. The team is absolutely good enough to beat Crystal Palace, but they're not going to do jack shit because we could beat Young Boys on Tuesday night, is it? And then we're through in the Champions League, and we all know that that's all the Glazers care about ultimately. Keeping that Champions League, keeping the hat, keep on telly. That's all they're asked about. They don't give a shit If we scrape top 4, they don't give a shit whether we win things. They just care about whether the sponsorship keeps getting paid. But I'll tell you this, man, I've said it so many times, I'm fucking bored of hearing myself say it. If you want to make money as a football club, win everything in sight. The money will come flying at you. Everyone will want to have their name of their car maker on the front of our shirts. Everyone will want to sponsor our bottled water, our grass and our noodles. Win everything in sight. Then worry about it. Don't try and sell the fucking soul of the club and put nothing into it. That's the ultimate problem, man. The ultimate problem is that the Glazers have had $1.5 billion took out of this fucker, and it looks like them down the road and other clubs are just pouring money in. Yeah, you can't constantly take away from a club and fucking expect it to compete with people that are going bananas for it. This is the richest club in the world, but we'll run like Everton, mate.
But having said that, the football should be a lot better with this team, should it not?
Of course it should. But it isn't. So what are you going to do? People are saying bring Pochettino in. For me, that Tottenham 11's better than ours. You can go right the way through it, apart from the goalkeeper. It's the defence. We're trying to buy the whole defence of theirs, so the defence is fucking Dembele and Ali and all of these guys. That's a better midfield than us. Kane's supposedly the best striker in the world, so why the f*** are they always below us in a title? You know what I mean? So if you go, right, okay, f*** Poch off. The bottom line is there probably is someone. I don't think the manager is as important as everybody's saying all the time. What matters is, can you put a good 11 out on the pitch? Our 11 today is good enough to beat Crystal Palace, and it didn't, and that's not acceptable. But over the course of a season, we're getting found out because we've got dross and should have been binned a long time ago. That's still sticking around. That's the problem.
So then when you hear the likes of Chris Smalling are going to get a new contract, Ashley Young potentially get a new contract, and the club, even Jose Mourinho, renewed his contract, do you think we are rewarding mediocrity then at this club? And would Jose Mourinho still be in charge at Real Madrid, at Chelsea, at these other teams that want to win these big trophies?
Probably not, no, and that's not necessarily saying that they're doing things the right way either. I'd rather we did things our own way if I knew that we had the plan in it, but we're run by idiots at the top and bottom of it, mate. That's it. Got idiots at the top.
Cheers, man.